That felt good.
Okay, so we had our session. And in our session, we did a little adjustment on your sights. Okay?
Yes.
Because the way that you're holding the gun and the way your sights were lined up was forcing you to shoot about 2 inches to the right of where you should have been. I adjusted them a little bit, and that brought you in to about 1 inch to the right of where you should have been shooting. Adjusted them again, and that brought you almost in a perfect vertical alignment. Okay? So we took the sight alignment as far as the physical sights out of the equation. So next we had to work on your accuracy in terms of grip, pressing the trigger, and etc. We moved your finger position from the tip back into the meaty part of your first digit on your finger.
Yes.
And we seen some improvement, but you were still bouncing around that vertical line. Then we came back and we worked on what?
The slack, taking the slack out, and then just following through. Right?
Once the slack was out, we just pressed the trigger. We didn't take it slow and in increments and wait for it. We took the slack out, and as soon as we were ready, we just pressed the trigger. We didn't jerk it. We just got up there. The slack was out. This is where I want to be. I'm just going to not stop. I'm going to press right through the trigger. And you started doing that, and what happened? You put 3 bullets in the size of a dime. You went back and you put 2 bullets in the size of a dime, and then you dropped down and you had one about 2 inches low, but they were all vertical. Had nothing to do with right or left, which means you weren't jerking the trigger or moving your body right and left. Your alignment, you dropped down or raised the pistol at that point, okay? And I'm going to attribute that because that was your last shot of being tired of holding the gun out there because you're not accustomed to holding the pistol out there for all that time.
Yeah.
We reduced your ammo account from 6 to 3. That also reduced the time that you're going to be holding the pistol out there. We've been on the range now for over 2 hours, and you're not accustomed to having your gun out there for 2 hours, or as often as we're doing it here today. That also plays an important role in how long you can sustain your accuracy in shooting. The more practice you do dry firing with your hand and your pistol out there, the longer you're going to be able to sustain a continuous practice session. Okay?
Yes.
But here's the thing. You only need to hold that position for under 5 seconds because it's over after 5 seconds.
After the fight. That's it.
The fight's over within 3 to 5 seconds. Okay? So, before we go, what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 more rounds. We're going to go back and we're going to do this last drill again.
Okay.
And then we're going to call it quits.
Okay.
Okay? And we really should call it quits now because you have a success story to come back to. And I think we'll do that. Okay? Because if we go back and something changes, I don't want you going home with that feeling.
That kind of a memory.
Right. I want you going home with this positive feeling.
Okay.
So how do you feel about this particular training session?
Well, wonderful. I loved it. I loved learning. You know, like when you say things and it just clicks in my mind, and all of a sudden, wow! Then I just apply it, and I see the results. Wow, that's.
So
that's
you
it.
feel that the session was worth the effort and the
Yes.
energy?
Yes.
And the holster is working good?
Oh, the holster is wonderful, nice and tight, and
And of course, we'll work on that when we get back to the house and get that plate in there so that it can fold up without taking the screws
Yeah.
out.
Real comfortable too.
Yeah, and it seemed like you were was adjustable for you to put the magazine in. Okay.
Yeah, because it's little tight there, but you have
Yeah.
the right angle, and it goes in there pretty well.
There's a couple of things we could do, but I'm thinking that would cause interference in other areas. In other words, we could cant the pistol more forward, which would raise the mag well up, okay? But that means that you're going to have to move your shoulder to get the gun, and I think it's at the right perfect height, even though you got to really concentrate sticking a magazine at that point. But you're going to have, when you're carrying, you're going to have 1 in the chamber and 10 in the magazine.
And I think too.
And I don't think you're going to be needing to look at reloading.
Yeah, and I think too, after I do this more often with the holster on the wheelchair, it'll come to me. It'll slide in. I know how far to go in.
Yeah,
there.
you'll just start to feel it.
Feel it.
Yeah, it'll be a natural thing. Yeah.
Because this is new to me, so now, but after a little while practicing it, I'll be all right.
Cool. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
I call that
That's-
success.